That's how we have to be about our goals. If you really want to see something come to fruition, you do until you demonstrate. Great quote by Ernest Holmes. Do until you demonstrate. We don't stop until we see the results. We don't stop until we see the change in our condition. And if you still ain't seeing the change, then maybe go rework your plan. Go pick up some more tools. Go surround yourself with even more impressive, powerful, motivating, inspiring people. Keep surrounding yourself with the things that you need in order to keep you moving forward till you get to where you want to get to. It may take you 2 months, it may take you 2 years, it may take you 20 years. Do until you demonstrate. That's when you know you've done it all.
Nobody's being delivered from anything. God ain't doing nothing for nobody right now. And gee, I wonder why. Because these folks are being taken from.
When you want to conquer a people, you give them a myth. You get them to believe the myth. And then you have, through repetition, have them form the habit of believing the myth.
We've been trained to think about Europeans as our God. So we're at war with who? We're at war with God, because many of us believe in the white image of Jesus, and if that's his son, we know that his father must also be white. So are you trying to tell me we're at war with that?
The thing about being conscious and truthful is you gotta be tough, you gotta be ready to get violent, because people are always gonna try to take advantage of you, because if you're winning, they're losing. And those guys cheat and you don't. So they gotta know not to play with you. They gotta know you can't really think that you're just gonna have an opinion without some muscle.
We've also had the mindset of resistance. Even in Los Angeles here, a lot of gangs got started because they were combating the white supremacist groups that were targeting black people in certain neighborhoods. So street gangs were created to really battle them at first.
In the 60s, they banned martial artists. They had registration of people's hands and feet because it was something they didn't quite understand. And plus, when people came from the armed forces and started using karate, it was dangerous at that time.
In neighborhoods that are of a more upscale, financially affluent society, white, Jewish, etc., they are infused with fertility clinics. While in our societies, the ones that do not have that elevated level of economics, black and brown, impoverished communities, have abortion clinics.
The first revolution, Gil Scott-Heron tells us, is the revolution in the mind.
Okay? We want to get this dirt off our shoulder because people like this piss me off. They really grind my gears. Look, I want to talk about these black first, unapologetically black Negroes. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them. They like to talk about, always run around calling somebody a coon and an Uncle Tom and all this other nonsense. Like they better than somebody. Are you better? Let's see. Let's see if you better. These black first, unapologetically black folks always talking about, I love my people. I know what my people want. I know what my people need. I love my people. Well, really? Well, your people are Christians. Your people are Muslims. Your people are Kemetic. Your people are homosexuals. Your people are married to Caucasian people or Asians or whatever, whoever they wanted to marry. Your people are teachers and lawyers, and your people are on the street, and I don't see you doing too much to get them off the street, homeless on the street. But you love black folks so much, you know. How many homeless shelters do you have? How many orphanages? Are you taking care of these children since you don't want nobody to have an abortion? How are you taking care of our children? Y'all unapologetically black first Negroes. You know what your people want. You know what your people need. There are 40 to 70 million soul brothers and sisters in this country called the United States of America. How many of them have you talked to know what we want, know what we need? Well, I'm one of them. I'm a black people. And I don't agree with the crap that you're talking about. And see, this is another thing. When you don't agree with unapologetically black, when you don't agree with the black first, then they call you a Uncle Tom, a Negro, a sellout trader, and all the other nonsense. But they are nothing but comfortable slaves. They talk a lot. It sound pretty. It sound tough. But when it's all said and done, what makes you any different than the average brother and sister on the street? Nothing. Most of you work for Caucasian people. You speak English. You eat the food. You eat the American food, European food. What makes you so damn special? Then you say black first. You say unapologetically black. Black is a word that comes from your slave massa. Your slave massa gave you that word black. Your slave massa gave you the word black, Negro, colored, and African. In fact, your slave master gave you the English language, period. I don't see none of these people speaking outside of English. But I'm the Uncle Tom, you the Uncle Tom, and the coon, and all this other stuff. But yet still, I don't see them doing nothing no different than anybody else. Oh, and a lot of them use profanity. And we know that came from your massa. Because your massa said MF, kiss my this, and all this other nasty foul language. And there you go. Where you learn it from? Did you get it from Ethiopia? Did you get it from Egypt? No, you got it from your slave massa. Just like every other Negro. But you better, you smarter. And foul-mouthed and nasty and vile. Y'all have disgusting behavior and arrogant and think that you better than somebody. You better get the hell out of here. Because I'll put you in your place real quick. You ain't nothing but a comfortable Negro slave just like the rest of us. Ain't nothing better about you. Ain't nothing different except you run your mouth. But I guarantee you this. You don't talk all that stuff when you're on the job. I bet you don't call the white man the devil to your employer at work. I bet you don't say that. I bet you don't talk about Uncle Toms and Coons on the job in people's face. I bet you don't do that. You don't have a pot to piss in. But you run around here trying to judge folks. Everybody's a coonie and you so black first. Get the hell out of here. Everything you got, Negro, I don't give a damn if you call yourself work for yourself. Everything about you, directly or indirectly, is because of your massa. Point blank. Your massa, just like everybody else. Ain't nothing special about you. And some of them, maybe not a lot, but some of them behind closed doors and some of them out in public. They are married. Some of them are married secretly, or they date the races, the Caucasian people. Or they don't have no problem with that. That man, don't tell me that white woman so fine. I couldn't turn that down. I thought you was so blackity black, unapologetically black. Ooties. Woo! Makes you want to cuss. I've been talking to a young sister. She's a Hebrew Israelite. And she keeps telling me, I'm pure black. I don't know. But when you ask her to explain what pure black is, because there are no dark-skinned people on this planet that call themselves black. Our people, dark-skinned people on this planet, did not call themselves black, Negro, colored, or African. These are labels and descriptions that came from the races. So I'm pure black. What are you saying? Because who are you? Who are these black people you talking about? You are pure. So your purity is based on what? Since you're pure, your purity is based on who? On what? Where's your show us a copy of your lineage. They don't never show you nothing. They just, I'm pure black. She's pure black. I'm all natural. She says she's all natural. Makes mockery of sisters that wear weave. I don't know what this obsession with weave wearing is. I don't care about no damn weave. The only thing I care about, you live in oppression. You need to be liberated from an oppressor. That's number one. You need to be liberated from an oppressor. That's number one. Anything else don't mean nothing. But, let's build a school. Let's have all these businesses. Everything except liberating yourself and becoming independent. What do all that mean if you're not independent from your oppressor? It don't mean too much of nothing, because when they want to, like they have shown in the past, when they get ready to, they just tear all your stuff up. That's what has happened to us all these years. And they can throw you in jail and do whatever the hell they want to you at any time they feel like it. I don't care who you are or what you are. As long as you are living in the house of your oppressor, anything can happen at any time. But this little sister, this little female Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Ethiopia or whatever, I don't know how they roll. I'm pure. I'm all natural. Now at the same time, I guess y'all don't listen to your own rhetoric. She's pure and she's all natural, but she's telling me that she's ready to put braids in her hair, and she needs to go out and buy some hair. I'm like, wait a minute, you just told me that you're natural, but you're getting ready to put fake hair. You're getting ready to weave fake hair into your natural hair. But you, at the same time, you're making mockery of sisters who wear I know what it is. It's different when you braid the weave. Don't let it be straight. That's bad. You can have fake hair, artificial hair on your head as long as it's braid, but don't wear it straight down to your back and all that kind of stuff. Because you're pretending to look like a white woman or something, right? Right. Okay, I got it. Right. See how fake these people are? I'm pure black. Well, let me tell you something. And they judge other people that's lighter skinned. Because the lighter you are, according to the first black folks and the unapologetically black people, the lighter color you are, the closer you are to the races, to white folks. Thus, the lighter skinned people, the closer you are to white folks, you can't be trusted. So, based on that logic, being a dark-skinned person myself, I can go to them, because most of these people who are black first, unapologetically black, technically They are not black. I am dark skinned. I'm the one with the melanin. So anybody, I could go to these sisters here because I'm darker skinned than they are. I could tell them, you're not black. You're brown. You're closer to the enemy. I can't trust you because you're lighter than me. I'm the one with the melanin. I'm black. I'm the one that's pure. In fact, you're not black. You're brown. Yes, I am. Black comes in all different colors. No, black comes in all different types of shades. Brown is brown. Black is black. If you go to a paint store and ask the people to give you black, they're not going to give you brown. Brown is not black, my friend. Black do come in different shades. When you go to the paint store, they're going to have different shades of black, but it's still black. Brown is not black. These sisters are brown. They are not technically black. They don't have the melanin that I have. So I could judge them and tell them, you're not black. I don't want to be around people that's not really black. Umar Johnson is unapologetically black. My brother, Maurice Muhammad, is black first. But they are not dark skinned like me. They are brown. They are not even dark. They are not even dark brown. They are brown. But they're talking about black first, unapologetically black. I could tell them, I could use their logic and tell them, you're not black. I'm black. You're not. You're dark brown. The original man is the Asiatic black man. Black, not brown. Brown is not black. You're not even a shade of black. You're brown. If I want to be silly like them. And so since you're brown and you're closer to the enemy's color, then I can't trust you. You can't trust Umar Johnson. You can't trust Maurice Muhammad. Using their logic. Can't you see how stupid and wacky and dumb the whole thing is? This is why I say the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, and I don't get involved in that color garbage. I don't care how light you are. As long as you have that background of being a descendant of slave born in America, having dark skin, then you are my family. We are family. I don't get caught up in all that nonsense. Who's a mulatto? Who ain't a mulatto? I could care less. You should be happy anybody wants to be and join this family. I want to first make mention, and I am worried because our sister Aretha Franklin, if you don't know who she is, she's a singer, and she is known as the Queen of Soul music. James Brown was considered and was given the title, or had the title, Soul Brother #1, the Godfather of Soul, and our Queen, Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul.
A new message has arrived.
And I've just received reports or watched a broadcast where they are reporting that our sister Aretha Franklin may be taking a turn for the worse as far as her health is concerned. And I know that she has been fighting some type of illness for a little while now, and being a representative of this new reality that I call soul, which is not new. I'm building on something that we created, back in the 60s, 70s, and even prior to that. But she is our queen. She is the mother of soul, and it's very sad to learn that we may be losing our queen. But as long as I exist, Brother James Brown, the Godfather, the Soul Brother #1, and our Queen Aretha Franklin, they will continue to live in our memory, and we will always remember both of these most beautiful people. I want to say this and make something perfectly clear. I want to speak on this topic, and I'm not talking about nobody. Let me say this, because see, some of y'all want to hear what you want to hear. I'm not talking about nobody in particular. Nobody. This is just in general. I'm not being specific about nothing because it's not about being specific. I ain't scared of nobody. If I'm talking about your ass, I would tell you. I put your name in the title of the video, and I'm talking about you. If I want to be specific, I'm not scared of nobody around here. I'm talking in general. Look, I have been on YouTube going on 11 years pretty soon. It would be 11 years. And within that 11-year period, because I know, without what we call black unity, without black unity, we ain't got nothing coming. I know this. So I have made, within the time period that I have been on social media, and I continue to do so, I have reached out my hand, willing to compromise my own beliefs so that we may come together, bond together on what we know of as common ground, what we have in similarity, so that we may come up against and unite against a common enemy and deal with common problems. If Google did not take down my channels, I guarantee you there's only one person on YouTube, only one person on social media that you can see clearly was reaching out, trying to unite us as a people. Only one. That's me. I'm the only one that really represents what you call black unity. I share everybody's video. They don't share my video because they scared if people hear my voice, they may leave them. You know, jealousy, envy, that type of thing. Nobody helps me. I always help people. That's a verified fact. I promote almost anybody. I don't even have to agree with you. I have promoted and shared videos by the Nation of Islam, JT Riley 1, just almost a little bit of everybody. I'm the only one that represents black power, really. Black unity. I'm the only one. All these other suckers is looking out for themselves. Looking for slaves. Have a questionable self-agenda. You cannot say that about me. Nobody. So now it's coming to the point where really I'm sick of it. I am tired of being nice. I keep coming to people trying to be nice. Hold on a second. I approach our people trying to be nice, trying to reason, trying to come to some type of medium where we can work together. So, because what is most important, look, I got persons get angry because they made a YouTube video, made a YouTube comment. I don't care nothing about that stuff. I have a compilation video where all kinds of people is talking about me. I don't care. That don't bother me. Ooh, you talk about me in a video comment. Oh, they made a video about me. You talking about my opinion. You don't like what I say. Who cares about all that stuff? Y'all silly. You're immature. You are living in an environment where it is a possibility that you have a group of persons planning your death, putting you and me in a mass grave. Y'all keep thinking that that's a joke. You think that you have all the time in the world to get yourself together. You don't. It might already be too late. We have done nothing since the civil rights movement 50 years ago. You have 50 years of doing nothing to improve your condition. and you have people with 50,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, 800,000, 100,000, whatever. You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing to improve the condition, nothing to unify our people. The only way we can survive and have a chance to avoid mass graves, mass extermination, mass deportation is you have to be unified. We have an individual silly mindset. And that individual silly mindset, what you want. It's not about what you want. This is what I want. You have to think about what we want as a people. You have to walk together with other folks. But we want, it's my way or the highway. We love these dictatorships. This dictatorship type of mindset is what's going to get you killed. When you look at all the other groups around us, they are thinking about what is in the best interest of the whole. Because you're going to have to do that in order for the whole to support. Because if you deny this particular part, you're going to fall. You're going to fall to pieces. And right now we are entering a period of time you cannot afford to be divided like this, man. So it is incumbent to me. I'm tired of being nice to certain YouTubers. Reaching out. Tired of begging them and pleading. So if you don't want to be my brother, you don't want to be my sister, you want to do that, then don't call me, oh, that's just a guy that want to start beef. That's a guy, you can call me whatever the hell you want to call me. But you'll never call me somebody that is not interested in black unity, and that's the key to our survival. Clearly, these persons are not interested in black unity. So clearly, they are not interested in your survival. So why should you get upset because I talk about them? They need to be talked about. Their channels need to be taken down. In fact, maybe you have and maybe you have not. Google and social media in general, because of declining users coming to these sites, they are getting rid of a lot of channels anyway. So a lot of your superstars, you better enjoy your superstars while they last. Because I heard just recently, I was talking to a friend last night, they just took down Alex Jones. If they took down Alex Jones, because Alex Jones represents talk that they believe on these sites, they don't want that type of talk no more. They don't want talk where people are speaking about race relations, social injustices, conspiracy theories. They don't want that on these sites no more. They took down Willie, what's the name, the rapper Willie D. He has another channel, but they can take that down tomorrow easy because they don't want these sites. They want these sites to be pure entertainment. They don't want you talking about real issues and serious stuff. So you got the big head because you have 10,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, and whatever. You're going to wake up one morning and your crap is gone. You don't have no other alternative sites at all. So you're done. I don't plan to be done. And I also come from a place where I know how to put on my boots and hit the streets. I'm not going to be done. We have brothers and sisters. Somebody is creating alternative sites for dark-skinned people to go to. We won't support them. We just on YouTube. See, you got to be forced. Many of y'all talk, the white man do this and the white man do that. But when brothers and sisters are trying to create sites, even if you have to pay, so what? Pay the little stuff. Y'all so caught up in that YouTube money. You caught up in this false sense of celebrity and fame. And now it's getting ready to come to an end. Good riddance to bad rubbish. I'll be glad when all y'all gone. you're not doing no good, you're not interested in soul unity, you might as well be gone. What the hell are you talking about? You know the solution, you say, but when we ask you for your plan, you don't have nothing to offer. The only thing you do is talk, 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 talk. That's all. In order to have a real plan, first of all, you must have a plan, a purpose, a goal, competent execution of that goal, and a vision for a future that you won't even be around to be a part of. You do not see this in YouTube land. The only place you see that is right here on this soul train. And really, this is the only way to go. No other way. No other method. There's a method out there that is an offshoot of this Mississippi campaign, but there's error. And I'm going to, in the future, I'm going to talk about that error. But I want to also make it clear, when it comes to our brother and sisters who are with Maurice Muhammad, that's my brother. We are not enemies. If you come against them, you come against me. We're not enemies. But we need to just do our thing separately for a while. Because clearly, if that's working, I'm on my way that way. But I would also hope that if they see that what we're doing on this side is working better, then we need to do this. Because time is running out. We don't have time to be screwing around. That's for sure. Again, like I said, I'm tired of being nice to folks. Speaking nice. Because what's getting ready to happen to us, it's not nice at all, y'all. I would first like to just take a few seconds in memory and honor of our Queen of Soul, our soul sister, Aretha Franklin. Of course, upon learning of our sister's passing, it brings us great grief and sadness and all those things, all these emotions that we have when we lose a loved one. Even though many of us never knew Sister Aretha Franklin personally, her actions, her music, and the person that she was, we cannot say that she did not represent what we call soul in a most incredible and magnificent way. It was back in December of 2006 when we lost the soul brother number one, the original soul brother number one, Brother James Brown. And now we have lost the Queen of Soul. So now we have lost the Godfather of Soul, James Brown, and the Queen of Soul, Sister Aretha Franklin. Both of these persons, icons, greatly respected by the soul community. Not only for music, and this is something that we must understand. Not only for music, soul, when we talk about soul, it's more than just about music. It's more than just about something religious or spiritual. Soul is the identification of a people. And in that identification, in the making of that identification, we don't understand what we have been doing all these years. During the 1960s, probably early in the 70s, when you heard and you saw people raise the fist for black power, you also saw soul power. It was the media, of course, of our enemies, of the races that, of course, promoted black power. And they slowly took away soul, because even in the music genre, soul turned from soul music to R&B and rhythm and blues. There was an effort, and we did not understand, and we think that it's just the word. Soul is the description of a people. It is more than food. It is more than music. Soul is a culture, brothers and sisters. James Brown was the godfather, soul brother number one. Aretha Franklin, the queen of soul. Of what? What did they really represent? I am here to tell you that upon this platform, upon that foundation built by James and Aretha and our people in general, and I had the honor of being born in it when we were soul brothers and sisters, when this was common. It was a way to identify. It is our attempt at our own culture. We began to take ourselves up out of what is called race. We became more than just black people or Negro or colored. We became that people that represented life. And we began to come, we began to come up out of that which oppressed us, which was black. The reason why we were lynched on trees was because we was black. The reason why we were denied certain employment and education and so forth was because we were black. So why would we want to identify with that which gave us oppression? I'm going to say that again. I'm proud to be black. Black first. Unapologetically black. That is what caused our oppression. Why would you want to be identified and build upon something that oppressed you? It is something that did not even come from you. It is a name and an identification that came from your oppressor. And you're proud to be black. You're proud to be a Negro. You're proud to be colored. You're proud to be African. All these labels and identification come from your oppressor. Why would you want that to identify with that which oppressed you? So it is natural for us to come up out of that and from up out of our ranks. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who started it, but we labeled ourselves people of soul, soul brothers and sisters. Soul in religious connotations is that which brings life to a body. Who do you know could go out in a field and pick cotton and get lynched and terrorized and still go out in a field and sing? And we are oppressed today in 2018 and we sing. Our children are shot down in the streets and we sing with joy and happiness. No matter how tragic, whatever we suffer, we can sing with joy and feeling and emotion because we are so filled with life. Even though our origins come from a terrorized place, a wicked place, a place of death. That's our origins. But from that place, we were still, and we responded with life, with happiness, with joy. No matter what evil, no matter what type of oppression and exploitation has been placed upon us, we still can smile. When you look at a people like the Jews, who say they suffered this Holocaust, you don't remember them smiling, anger, upset, but we can talk about chattel slavery and we can still smile. And those who actually were suffering that oppression, they smiled and they could dance and they loved their family. But you don't see that in other oppressed people. Oh man, we don't understand. We're not better than anybody. Let me make that very clear. You will never come to this page and I talk about we're the chosen people of some God and we're better than somebody. We're the superior. You don't hear me talk about that. However, you must give us credit for who and what we are. You cry under tragedy and we can smile. Woo! When you think about soul, brothers and sisters, when you think about soul and relate it to a people, there's only one people you can think about, and that is the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin. And when I said dark skin, I am speaking about this people come in all types of hues, from the very dark like myself to the very light, to the big lips, small lips, narrow nose, kinky hair. We have straight hair. The people of soul, we are the rainbow people. We actually can represent all of humanity. Some of us look Asian. Some of us look Mexican. We can look like almost anybody, the so-called Negro, brothers and sisters of soul. And you know this. There is no definite or specified one male, one female that you can bring together and say, that looks like the so-called Negro of America. Because we don't roll like that. We actually can represent all of humanity. Perhaps that's the reason why so many don't like us. Because we can look like them and anybody. A rainbow people. And we are so creative, coming from up out of tragedy. And we're smart and we're intelligent. And we represent so much. You could say nature has been very kind to us. But what makes it so bad? Because you don't understand who you are. You keep talking about the knowledge of self. But you really don't know self. Because self is not a Kemetic. Self is not a Muslim. Self is not a Hebrew. Self is none of these things. That's something fabricated for you. Because you don't know yourself. The people of soul, this essence of soul, that's you coming into your own. You don't have to copy nobody. You don't have to mimic nobody. You don't have to pretend to be somebody 5,000 years ago. You don't have to do that. Just be yourself, your real self. Using what we was given from the place that we come from. That's ourselves. You want to be a Hebrew. You never met a Hebrew. You don't know nothing about that. Or Moor. You never met a Moor. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about Kemet. So you fabricating and mimicking and want to copy, when you yourself, if you understood who you are, you will see how wonderful that you are. And soul is the best identification for you. It takes us up out of the concept of race, because race is the thing that oppressed us. Why would you want to be that? So you can speak and be proud to be a soul brother or sister. Nobody can accuse you of being a racist, because soul has nothing to do with racism. These ghetto names is nothing but an attempt of a people of self-discovery. I don't want to be them. I don't want to be her. I don't want to be him. I want to be myself. So I name myself. Some of you, because you don't understand, oh, those ghetto names. No, they are not ghetto names. You are using the tools that we were given and making it our own. That's the only thing. When a bird builds a nest, that bird builds with the tools, with that which surrounds that bird. So we speak English, so we use the English language and all these things that was given to us, but we make it our own. And even if you're Kemetic, even if you're a Christian, even if you're a Hebrew or more, whatever you want to claim, you take those things and make it your own, but don't try to be a people that you don't know nothing about. They are not you. That's why we look silly and crazy, dressing up in these costumes, trying to pretend to be somebody we never knew. Accept your own and be yourself. A rainbow people, a descendant of a slave born in America, soul brothers and sisters, a soul nation, a soul tribe, wonderful, distinguished, a people. We are our own people, and be proud of that. And stop tripping on your background, because it's not your background, it's where you go forward. Just because you're poor don't mean you have to stay poor. Just because we have a slave background don't mean that we languish in that. We continue to move forward. You don't have to steal and pretend that you're somebody else because you think those people are better than you, and they're not. The trophy, you the champion. The bottom line is you failed. You were not successful. So you had those, or you have those persons. Some of them did not even participate. Some of them was babies or wasn't even born in 1995. They want to tell you about how successful the Million Man March is, but they cannot bring you nothing of substance. You're supposed to just ignore your sight. You're just supposed to ignore. They want to give you or make you believe pretend success. That's what they're doing. Pretend success. You have to pretend. It's like also, as an example, your child bringing home a report card with a B+. But the child, because the child, you say, look, if you bring me straight A's, I'm going to do this for you. The child still wants the prize because they brought you a B+. A B+ is not an A. You need straight A's. You brought me a B+. Well, that's good enough. No, it's not good enough. You were not successful. You are supposed to bring home straight A's. You brought home most A's, but you got this B+. A B+ is not an A. But you have those who want to insult your intelligence by trying to explain how a B+ is actually an A. It cannot, I don't care how you twist it, I don't care how you turn it. A B+ is not an A. No matter how you twist the Million Man March, the results, or the Justice or Else campaign, no matter how you flip-flop and throw around, when it's all said and done, they were failures. That's just the bottom line. Because if they were successful, then you could explain that success by saying, well, this was the plan, this was the purpose, this was the goal, this is the competent action that we took behind what we was doing. And also, since now we are living in the future of the Million Man March, now that we're living in the future, you can say this was the result that we always was looking for with the Million Man March. But you cannot do that, because you cannot say, we're not saying that there was nothing good that came out of it. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying there's nothing good that came out of it, because clearly there were some good things that came out of it. But when you look at the magnitude, millions and millions of men and sisters, all of us across this country involved in this activity, with all this energy, with all this hype, all this emotion, all this hope and faith, when it was all said and done, it was a failure. When you take all things into perspective, you cannot say that Oprah Winfrey is a failure. There are some that may say that Oprah Winfrey is a failure, and that's cool. But Oprah Winfrey wanted to be a top journalist, and she became that. She's known around the earth. And you can say, I could say, oh, Oprah is a failure. I'd be wasting my time because clearly Oprah Winfrey is a success. She's a failure in many other ways, but still overall, she's a success. A successful what she wanted to do. A journalist. Michael Jackson was very successful. 40 million records sold, one record. Very successful, known around the earth. Yeah, you could call Michael a failure. You could call Oprah a failure. We could do that. It would be very difficult because you see. You can see, you can hear. It's substance. You don't have to pretend a B plus is an A. You don't have to explain the success. Those who want to say that Oprah or Will Smith or President Obama or whoever, all these who have attained such high goals, it's very difficult to say they are failures, even though they do fail in other things. But as far as being an entertainer, Michael Jackson was a success. Barack Obama became a most important, well-known politician. Oprah, a journalist, and all of us we know failure and we know success. You cannot make something that it is not. So you have those who wish to pretend because they believe in a man and they have faith in that man, and they don't want to see the man's failure. They don't want to see the man's incompetence because this man has a connection to God. He has a connection to God, but he still failed. He's still a failure. That's just the bottom line. And so they come on trying to defend failure, and they insult your intelligence by flip-flopping and twisting and trying to make something that is not. The Million Man March and Justice or Else, brothers and sisters, whether we like it or not, whether I like it or not, I'm not happy about it. I wish that the Million Man March, Justice or Else, or everything that we do is successful. But if you think that it's butter, it's not. It's chiffon. It's not real. And you can pretend it was successful all you want to. Again, we're not saying that good things did not come up out of Justice or Else or the Million Man March or anything else that we do. But when we have failed, we have failed. If you want success, then do it like Rona Bennett from En Vogue always said. She said, do it till you demonstrate. Oprah Winfrey demonstrated. Michael Jackson demonstrated. The child that actually brought home all A's, they demonstrate. They don't have to pretend and try to make something what is not. If you think it's butter, it may be chiffon. Don't insult our intelligence, because actually what you're doing is committing fraud, because fraud is simply presenting something in one way. You're selling us one way, but it's really not that way. So actually, those who are trying to say that the Million Man March and Justice or Else was successful, they are committing deception. They are committing fraud. That's what you're actually doing. So I would, and you look, if I was you, don't do that. You're making yourself look bad. You might be able to fool some people, Like some parents, they want you to bring home straight A's and you bring home a B+. They might say, okay, I'll go ahead and, I'll go ahead and do that for you. But the parents know, and you know, that you don't have straight A's. You have straight A's and a B+. A B+ is not an A. So look, there's a brother, that I know. We was going back and forth, and he told me, he said, man, don't pee on my head. Don't urinate on my head and tell me it's lemonade. Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one, yeah. Don't take a leak on my head and then tell me it's lemonade. That's what these people are attempting to do. Because they don't want their leader, they don't want their man next to God look bad. But actually, you trying to make something what is not, you make things worse in the eyes of intelligent people, because intelligent people can easily see that this was a failure. This was not successful. There's nothing wrong. Look, we all fail. We all are not successful in many things that we do. So what? Keep trying. But see, when you claim that you are close to God, when you think that you're special, when you think that you're the honorable, and you done filled your head with all this stuff, and you fail, you have to try to save skin. Why did you fail? Why things didn't go the way that they're supposed to go? You're not supposed to fail because you're close to God. Well, even in your scriptures, you did not see a lot of, there were failures, even though there were people who were close to God. Jesus was crucified. Jesus was crucified. Does that sound like he was successful in his mission? Jesus was rejected in his mission. He was not embraced. He was rejected. So if the Son of God can be a failure, why are you so, what's the problem? Why can't you be a failure? There's nothing wrong with that. We fail and we succeed in something. You don't have to turn around and perpetrate a fraud, like they say in the black community. Faking the funk. You want us to accept your pretend, your false success. And false success, pretend success, just make things worse for us. Because we cannot accept the reality of things. The acceptance of reality will make us a better and stronger people. Instead of faking the funk. Pretending to be something that we're not. Don't pee on my head and tell me it's lemonade. Let's stop doing that. That also shows that you have a very poor sense of character, and you're not very honest. You're not very honest. Okay, so let's just accept things for what they are. Let's just keep trying and keep doing till we demonstrate. And when we have real success, we can really be, we will really have something to be proud of. Jot down your comments, y'all.